Welcome back to another edition of NC Sports Weekly News. Plenty of water sports action in the lineup. In the sails, Emirates Team New Zealand dominates the Luna Rossa to win the 30th Louis Vuitton Cup. The Fastnet race, where legends are made. The Olympians of tomorrow at the Eurosaf Youths in Tavira. Power Mania, Jean-Bruno Pastorello does it again in Vladivostok at the Aquabike Rally Worlds. The boards report. Adrian Buchan takes home the Billabong Pro Tahiti, and Kelly Slater is back on top of the WCT. Plunge into the action with NC Sports. It is one of the most iconic regattas in the sailing panorama, dating back to 1925. Twice a year, it draws hundreds of the world's top teams to the south of England and Plymouth Hoe. This is the Rolex Fastnet race, a pinnacle offshore event with 608 nautical miles to cover westward, starting from Cowes and the Isle of Wight, crossing Land's End, then rounding the famous Fastnet Rock on the coasts of Ireland and the Scillies, closing back into Plymouth. Open to a wide array of vessels from yesteryear and today, 336 crews took part in this 2013 edition of the Fastnet, and the spectacle was once again breathtaking. Among the passionate and the simple cruisers, many top names from the pro circuit were at hand, as this is simply a race that no one wants to miss. Among the many honored winners in a number of categories, Donna Bertarelli and Jan Guichard were the first back in port, taking the Catamaran Trophy on their Spindrift 2, the world's largest racing trimaran at 40 meters in length overall. François Gabart and mentor Michel Desjoyaux took their Massif to victory, the Imoca 60, and Signe Gavinier with D. Cafari grabbed the Mokra Multis on the Mod 70 Oman Air Muzandam. The full picture, interviews, and results on the upcoming editions of Seamaster Sailing. Always on the Nautical Channel.
Sailing is not only a sport. Sailing is a school of life. We don't just make regattas. We teach our children how to deal with marine biology, the environment. We teach them how to deal with nature. We teach them how to deal with life. We teach them how to navigate. The sea is an hostile ambience and atmosphere. They have to deal with the sea. They have to make decisions for themselves. So sailing is not only about sport, it's not only about making first to the finish line. It's much more than that.
14 nations with some 160 athletes in 7 classes were on call in Portugal as some of the very best European under-19 sailors met for the 2013 Eurosaf Youth Championships. With on-the-clock top conditions for the first 3 days, the race committee managed to complete 3 full flights per day on 2 courses. Yet medal races were scratched on the last day due to lack of wind, and the 12 qualifiers would set the scorecard. Britain and Russia took top honors in the RSX. Poland dominated the laser radial, while France and Italy fought it out to the last podium position in the 420s and the 29ers, renewing their duel at the top, and with France taking the nation's title. Full results and highlights of this Euro Championship in Algarve on the next Buzz. And for the complete report on the state of youth sailing in the continent and the making of the Olympians of tomorrow, don't miss the NC Sports special half-hour presentation, Sail Tavira, airing this September. Adrian Buchan baffled the bookies in Tiapu's 2-meter surf to win the Billabong Pro Tahiti in a heated final against 11 times world champion Kelly Slater. With a streak of back-to-back nines, the Aussie pulled off some deep forehand barrels in a marathon 19-heat final. This is Adrian's second victory in an ASP event in his 8 years as a professional. Compatriots Kai Otten and Mick Fanning shared an equal third-place finish.
I mean, to surf a final with him, someone that I idolized as a kid, and you know, we surfed a final 4 years ago in France, and that was really special. And to come out on top here at Chopu, you know, it's like it's the gladiator pit of our sport. It's a coliseum, and it just feels incredible.
After 6 of 10 events, American Kelly Slater takes back the lead in this 2013 World Championship Tour. Yet Fanning is just a notch behind with Joel Parkinson, Jordy Smith, and Taj Burrows on the chase.
Everyone is around me in the ratings. I did better than, you know, Mick got third, I got second, so made a little ground on him. And I mean, I'm happy with the position right now. I pretty much have 2 throwaways. Mick's got all keepers, and I just pulled ahead of him, so I'm happy with that. But you know, the pressure's on me because I can't really afford to have any more throwaways.
Next stop for the ASPWCT is Southern California in mid-September for the Hurley Pro at Trestles. France's Jean-Bruno Pastorello does it again, winning 3 of the 5 heats in Vladivostok to be crowned a UIM ABP Aquabike Rally Jet Offshore World Champion. For the final decisive race, the fleet tackled the grueling 120 nautical miles around Ruski Island in just over 2 hours, with the front pack split by a handful of minutes. In what is possibly the most demanding specialty in the sport, these are the fast and the furious, racing at full throttle and maintaining averages of over 60 miles per hour, tackling the waves, the fog, and the competition. This is no joke and requires top athletic condition. Pit stops were crucial, reshuffling the points on the leaderboard. Pastorello battled for top positions with Samuka Racing's Felipe of Portugal, Alexei Chernucha of Team Russia, and Vic Team Duo of Vincent Thomas and Lucas Granger from Guadeloupe. In the end, Jean-Bruno would settle for 4th place to hold on to a 5-point lead. Still plenty to grab the overall world title, with Chernucha runner-up and Samuka Racing in 3rd. With an impressive final score of 7-1, Emirates Team New Zealand ultimately defeated Luna Rossa Challenge to win the 30th Louis Vuitton Cup and gain access to America's Cup 34 as official challenger. Once again reaffirming their supremacy in the sport, the Kiwis have reached the finals 5 times in the last 6 editions of the LVC, and twice in a row now against Pradas Azzurri. This has been one of the most troubled editions to date, marred by defections, controversy, and even drama, reaching its peak with the implosion of Artemis Racing and the tragic loss of British Olympian Andrew Simpson last May. Only 3 boats made the start line in this over-promoted contest, with the Swedes picking up the pieces and playing but a brief cameo appearance, losing to Luna Rossa in the semis. These new AC-72 foiling Power Cats, however, proved to be the main advancement of this cup, redefining the very limits of the sport. It was indeed a steep learning curve for all teams, perhaps too steep. Yet Dean Barker's squad took the game to a whole new level. With speeds in the 25-33 knot range, spectacular foiling jibes, and magnificent TV coverage, it was indeed a whole new show, dampened only by the lack of players. The harsh final score cannot define the overall Italian performance in a challenge that began only early in 2012. Their progress has also been undeniable, and Max Sirena's team has little to regret, as few would have bet on Luna Rosa's presence in San Francisco this summer. The All Blacks of Sailing will now face Oracle Racing in the 34th America's Cup Finals this September, and the focus is now on the U.S. Defender, still untested in a real regatta. Recently stripped of its World Series title for irregularities on their two AC-45s and relinquishing their lead to Luna Rosa's Piranha, Spithill, Coutts, and possibly Ainsley will now have to face the New Zealand powerhouse. All bets are on. For all the highlights and the full insider take on this LVC series, stay tuned to NC Sports and the next edition of Top Story. NC Sports, plunge into the action.